Hello everyone! Welcome back to more Let's Play Seduce Me! Still going on with Andrew's route, but today should be the final episode to Andrew's route. Now I guess I could have finished the episode in the last episode, but I thought that the previous episode was going to take a little bit longer. Like at least 40-minute mark, not barely. I don't think it even hit the 30-minute mark. I think it was less than that. Whoopsies! So I guess we'll see how long this one takes too. So it might also be a short episode. But anyway, we are going to be finishing it today. Finishing up Andrew, get him out of the way, and continue on with our life. Eventually, the morning arrived and the sun screamed at me to get up. Surprisingly, I woke up before my alarm clock, which was nice. It's always nice to wake up before that damn alarm clock. Fuck, I hate that sound. I stretched out and quickly got dressed, getting ready for school. I went over in my mind what had happened over the weekend, suddenly feeling weary. I had moved in Friday night, held a house party Saturday, and enjoyed my day Sunday. Yep, sounds about right. I scooped up my bag and headed downstairs to the dining room. The room was empty and I felt hungry. I needed something to eat. I looked at my phone and saw a text I must have completely forgotten about.
Hey, I know you have school today, but do you want to hang out after?
I couldn't help a small smile from growing on my face. Andrew was sweet and seemed like a good guy. I remembered how he gave me his number as he dropped me off at home from my visit to grandfather's grave, making my small smile bigger. I chuckled and texted back. Sure, why not? I got nothing better to do. I made myself some quick toast and coffee, needing a jump start. I felt drained and I did not want to fall asleep in class. Something bothered me though. My house felt empty. Or at least emptier than when I came for some reason. I couldn't put my finger on it, but it slightly bothered me. I finished my food and quickly rushed to the front, waiting for Naomi's car and confident that nothing was going to happen. I avoided talking about what had happened yesterday. Wait, are we in our dad's car? What car is this? Whose car is this? This ain't Naomi's, is it? Ah! I'll be riding with you guys from now on, to and from school. Woohoo! As we entered the school, we quickly gathered our things from our lockers and headed to class. There were no events, to my surprise. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me. Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me. Before the class bell rang and the class was greeted by our teacher. History wasn't as boring as economics, but I still managed to space out in that class just the same. As my cat tries to meow in the background as loud as possible. Thank you, cat. I decided to keep my eyes to my notebook. I began to scribble random doodles, some which stuck out to me more than others. I somehow managed to doodle a small bear with a heart on its stomach. I cracked a small smile at the image, imagining the bear lighting up on my paper as I pressed the eraser of my pencil on it. I remembered what had happened last week, slowly frowning at the memories of my grandfather. I guess it was still hard to let him go. To lose someone, it's never easy, but I know that moping and letting his memory get to me wouldn't do any good. I felt, though, that he was watching over me. As stupid as they may sound, I felt that I was somehow safe. Like, it was okay not to focus on school or my future and just live in my own little world. I could be a little girl and draw pictures instead of plan out the rest of my life and be perfectly happy. Sadly, I knew that wasn't realistic. Graduation was slowly coming up and my mind had wandered into the future once again. What was I going to do? It was hard to think about. At this rate, I just wanted to wing it. No decisions had to be made ahead of time in my little world. No disappointments would come out of whatever I decided to do in my little world. Hell, maybe I could have found a perfect magical love in my little world and life would just turn out like a dream. It was sad to think that my world wasn't real, yet my heart still wished that it was. It gently squeezed inside my chest, almost convincing me that magic could be real. My mind knew better. I let out a small sigh, letting my little world hide away in my thoughts as the class bell rang. Naomi and Susan smiled at me, making me feel a little better. At least I still have my fucking friends! Oh yeah, girls! I love you! I love you so much! Ah. I quickly gathered my things and left my next class. Throughout the day, I found myself wondering about my future. What was I going to do now? How was I going to do it? Everything. Then, Andrew came to mind. He and I were in the same position. We both were in line to take the CEO position, but neither of us wanted it. It was adorable to think about. A strange Romeo and Juliet.
Hey, are you listening?
I broke out of my thoughts, finding myself in the hall with my things ready to head home.
Dude, you've been spacing out all day. Are you okay?
Let's see. Doesn't look like anything matters. What's the problem with spacing out? Come on! Yeah, come on! It's fun! As I expected, Naomi Suzu gave me disapproving looks. Oh, Suzu especially. She's so pissed off at me. Oh, sorry, Suzu. I'm sorry.
What's going on, Anderson? We're just worried about you.
It's nothing, really. It's... Before I could continue, I heard Lisette's gaggle of girls giggling nearby. I prepped myself, ready to fight Lisette or deal with another attack from our girl army before turning to the sound. I let my face go red at the sight. Andrew was standing in the hall, smiling at me. The girls around him seemed flirtatious, but he only kept his eyes on me. It wasn't like he was holding flowers, but his older looks made him the cutie of the school hall. I will be honest, he was much more handsome than any guy in the school. Teehee. Except for that fucking shirt that's still not shoved inside his pants. Oh, God. Fucking clean up that shirt, goddammit! Andrew. Hi.
Hey, I was waiting outside for you, but I needed to use the restroom. I hope you don't mind me coming into your school for that, right?
Not at all, dude. Not at all. Go take a shit before you shit all over your car or some shit. Andrew smiled at me before gesturing to my friends, who both practically had their jaws hit the floor.
And who are your friends?
Oh, this is Naomi and Suzu.
Pleasure. Yo.
Suzu. Yo. God, I love Suzu. She's like the best friend ever. They looked at me, giving me their silent friendship. Oh my God, who is this hot guy and how do you know him? Look. I glared for half a second at each of them before smiling to Andrew. So, you came to pick me up?
Yeah, I figured I could drive you from school to wherever, you know? Save some time and stuff. Unless you don't wanna.
No, it's cool. Just give me a couple of seconds, alright?
For sure. I'll be outside.
Didn't you say you have to go to the bathroom? Go take your shits, dude. Andrew smiled and gave a two-finger salute to me before heading out the hall. The girls, like a gaggle of morons, followed. As I looked to Naomi and Suzu, they glared at me. Oh shit. What? What?
How did you know that guy? When did you two meet? You've been hogging guys to yourself.
It's not like that, okay? We met at the house party. My mom introduced us, and well, he's kinda nice. Naomi and Suzu raised their eyebrows at me in almost perfect sync. I sighed. Look, we're just friends, and he wanted to hang out, so I said yes, okay? It's just for today. It's nothing really.
Whatever you say. Just remember to use rubber.
Suzu, hands down, best friend ever. You guys! Before I could defend myself, Lisette strutted up to me, crossing her arms.
So, who was that? A college boy?
Back off, Lisette. I'm really not in the mood to hear your voice right now, and neither is Anderson.
I just wanted to know. Can a girl be curious?
Be curious, but don't pry.
I could feel something go sour. Something wasn't right. Why was Lisette approaching us? She wasn't the type to talk to us freely. I looked around to see a small gaggle of her girls gather, glaring at my friends and me and ready to pounce in my fucking dryer, making a very loud notice saying, hey, we're almost done. And yes, dryer, I can fucking hear you. I can tell you're almost fucking done. Shut up. You don't need to make it loud and clear to the whole world to know. Jesus Christ. Yes, I'm doing laundry while LPing. What can you do? I also noticed that Suzu, Naomi, and I were cornered. What do you want, Lisette?
Well, Anderson, I'm getting a little tired of this game. For years now, we've been at each other's throats.
Excuse me?
Shut it, Capini. The point is, let's let go of the past, shall we? We're both different people, and we're gonna graduate soon. I don't want to graduate with bad blood between us.
Almost like a cliche chick flick, Lisette held her hand out to me with a smile. Was she joking? After all we had been through, she plotted the her girls to tease us, to make us miserable. She was the mastermind behind any operations against me. Years of her trying to undermine me because we both were top of our classes, and she wanted to shake hands? This wasn't like her at all. I rushed my gaze over to her, trying to see what was different. Was she just tricking me? Was she being held in some kind of knife point? My eyes landed on a small purple pencil sticking out from her pocket. For some reason it caught my eye. I knew something was up with it, but it was just a pencil. What could be up with a pencil?
Hello?
Lisette, shut up! I snapped out of my trance and looked up at Lisette, who was glaring at me.
Are you going to shake my hand, or what?
Now, of course, this choice doesn't matter, and I imagine we'll be dealing with this at another point. So, for now, slap her hand away! Fuck you, Lisette! There was no way I was going to forgive her so easily. No, Lisette. You've been a bitch to me ever since we were young. You've been underhanded, and you've gathered a little girl gang to harass me and my friends ever since middle school. What makes you think I will shake your hand? Lisette glared at me, rubbing the hand I had slapped.
Listen, Anderson, I did all that to give you tough skin. Look at you now, standing up for yourself.
And you think bullying me justifies that? What the fuck, you dumb blonde bitch? My yelling caused Lisette, her gaggle of girls and my friends to step away from me. Bullying me may have given me tough skin, but it also gave me scraps and hard times in places I'm supposed to be learning in. You were seduced with the idea of making yourself the most powerful girl in school, and the only ones holding you back from that were me and my friends, because we didn't bow down to you and kiss your feet. But mostly, you hated how I worked my ass off to get good grades and wanted me to topple over so I could cry and give up for your sick entertainment. I wanted to hit her. I wanted to. After all the time she hurt me, she deserved to be on the floor. But I had a date to catch. I walked over and glared into Lisette's face, almost nose to nose with her. You're a bully, and you'll always be one. I'm not going to shake your hand just because you want to forget that. And with that, I left the stunned Lisette. My friends, equally pissed, followed right behind me. Damn, girl! We're awesome! Finally standing up for herself. Time to piss off. I continued down the hall with Naomi and Suzu right beside me.
So, what about this guy? You're going on a date?
Ooh, Naomi. It's just hanging out, nothing too serious.
So, we can come with, right?
No way, Suzu. You have to babysit Francesca, and I have to go to a college interview.
Who the fuck is Francesca? I turned and smiled at my friends. Trust me, I'll be fine. It's just hanging out. I'll text you both when I get home. Like a pair of adorable parents, Naomi and Suzu nodded before heading out, leaving me to head after Andrew. I smiled to see him leaned against his car waiting. He seemed alright, and, luckily, he wasn't surrounded by girls. Andrew smiled and waved me over. I rushed over and smiled back. Hi.
Hi.
Like a gentleman, Andrew opened my door for me, gesturing me inside. I stepped inside and sat down before he closed the door and circled it to get into the driver's side. Why does everybody drive the exact same fucking car? Why? Dad drives this car, Naomi drives this car, now Andrew, you drive this car? Is this like the only type of car that exists? Jesus Christ! We pulled out of the parking lot and began to drive. To where? I didn't know, but I trusted Andrew to stay local since it was just hanging out.
Look, I know this seems weird, me picking you up and stuff, but I promise you'll love where we're going.
And where are we going exactly?
It's a cafe. The Pink Lady Cafe. Best cinnamon rolls around, and their coffee is to die for.
Ah, the Pink Lady Cafe. I've actually been there before. Oh shit.
Really? Oh, crap. I thought it would be a surprise. Damn.
I laughed. He seemed to want to impress me. Why, though? I let the idea slip as we followed back into silence. It was peaceful, but at the same time, I didn't know how to talk to Andrew. The only thing that connected us was the company and my grandfather. He was funny, sure, but he was still somewhat a stranger. So, how about them bears, huh? Andrew let out a laugh. I didn't know what was so funny, but seeing him laugh made me laugh a bit too.
I'm a doofus. I don't watch sports. I barely know anything about sports.
Now, even if you're a Cubs or a Sox fan?
I'm from the north side. Take a guess.
So Cubs.
That's right.
We both laughed again. Chicago sports talk was a silly topic, but it was a start. It was better to chat on the road than listen to the car buzz.
You know, my mom always thought I'd go into sports. My dad wrecked that dream of hers real quick when he sent me to college prep. Meh, that was 6 years ago, though.
Really? How old are you?
I'm 20, turning 21 in July. Why?
Are you in line? And you're in line for the CEO position? Damn, boy, you're so young!
Why not? You are too, remember?
And suddenly I did remember. I was 18 and being pushed to be CEO. My dad would force me to try and take the position right after I graduate. I sighed at the thought. Oh my god, phone, shut up.
Did I say something wrong?
No. It's nothing. It's just my phone not shutting up like it's supposed to be. I saw Andrew's lips pressed together. He was blaming himself. Shoot. I opened my mouth to say something before he smiled.
Well, just so you know, I'm the kind of guy that likes to stop the microwave at 1 second just to feel like I'm defusing a bomb. Pretty cool, huh?
I think we all secretly do that. I couldn't help but laugh. Where did that come from?
Well, you sighed, so I took a risk and tried to make you smile. I got a laugh, so 10 bonus points for me.
Choo-choo. I laughed and smiled at him as he kept his eyes to the road. He also had a smile, though, the same goofy grin he had before. I had to admit, it was cute. However, the car suddenly began to play a song suddenly. I watched as Andrew effortlessly moved a hand from the wheel and pressed a button on his dash. His phone was connected to his car.
Andrew Lewis speaking.
Andrew, can you come to the office for a little bit? Your father needs a few folders and he left them here. They're in the meeting room.
Really? Crap. Okay, I'll be there shortly.
He pressed the same button on his dash and sighed, slumping his shoulders.
I'm sorry. Can we stop by the Anderson office really fast? It's on the way and it'll be really quick.
Sure, I guess. Andrew nodded before traveling towards the city. I had only seen the building once, but it was the base of operations for Anderson Toy Company. I never went inside, and I truly was unsure if I ever wanted to. I'd have to eventually, but until then, I remained ignorant of how the office looked. There was curiosity, yes, but I didn't know if I wanted to follow through with it. We pulled into a parking lot of a gigantic office building with the company's name in bold letters at the top. I had to roll down my window and peek my head out to see the top. Yep, still as big as I remembered it.
I'll zip in and zip out. It's just to pick up some documents, nothing special.
No, I'll go in too, let's familiarize ourselves with this place.
Huh? Are you sure?
Yeah, might as well see the inside after 18 years. I exited the car and closed the door, walking to be at Andrew's side. The building was huge, I had to admit, but I needed to feel the curiosity in my gut. What was it like on the inside? Andrew and I made our way inside, and he guided me to where he needed to go. All the while, I took in the sight. It was a corporate office, but it had that hint of fun flair with toys in every corner on every desk. I felt a smile grow on my face at the sight. This was my grandfather's company, all right. Andrew and I entered the meeting room, where a pile of folders topped with a strangely familiar purple pencil sat neatly on the table. That purple pencil, man! What the fuck is up with it?
Alright, there they are. Let's get them and...
What is going on here?
Oh no. Say it isn't so. The worst man in the life! The villain of this whole entire game! Ah! My blood ran cold at the voice. I'd known that voice anywhere. Fucking Dad. Why? I turned to see my very angry father glaring at me and Andrew and blocking the doorway out. Andrew turned with the documents he needed in hand, almost dropping them at the sight of my dad.
Mr. Anderson,
Lewis, why is my daughter with you?
Well, sir, that is... I was just...
Stop mumbling!
I recognized those words and grew furious at the sound of them leaving his mouth. Why was he so mad? What was so wrong about me being with Andrew? What was his deal? Speak up! Yes, finally, at long last, we finally speak up. We confront our dad. Enough was enough. I stepped forward, placed myself between my dad and Andrew. I came with Andrew after school. We were going to go out to a cafe together.
What did I tell you about?
When did you get to decide who I'm with? I don't live under your roof anymore. I live in grandfather's house. I can take care of myself. I can choose who to be close to. I could practically feel red anger rising to my dad's face, but at this rate, I didn't care. He had been controlling for long enough. I don't have to listen to you anymore. I have my own life now. I can go to college, get a degree, and do what I want. I guess I have you to thank for making me work endlessly for good grades and scholarships. I felt my courage bubble in my gut. I was finally able to speak my mind. I wasn't in his house anymore. I was my own woman! The moment you made me move out was the moment you gave up your right to decide what I do with my life. If I want to go to college and travel, then I can go to college and travel. If I want to give up my running for the CEO title, I can give up the running for the CEO title. If I want to meet with Andrew for cinnamon rolls, then Gus, got it! I'm going to meet with Andrew for cinnamon rolls! My dad stepped back, staring wide-eyed at me. I felt like the slap he gave me was repaid tenfold just with my words. I wasn't a child anymore. I wasn't his pawn anymore. I could do what I wanted to do. Come on, Andrew. Let's go. And fuck off, Dad. Please. I began to walk toward my father, who stepped aside and let me and Andrew pass without another word. I continued walking, retracing Andrew's steps to find the exit of the building. Woo! Finally, at long last, we told our dad to fuck off. Yes! Woo! We don't get that many chances, but still so fucking satisfying. Fuck you, Dad. Fuck you. As we reached the car, I let out a large chunk of air I was holding in before getting in. Andrew followed into the driver's seat and looked to me.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm much better now.
Let me just say, that was pretty cool.
I smiled and gently nudged him. Come on, let's get some cinnamon rolls. I'm dying for a bite right now. Lily and Kay greeted us with happy smiles, giving us cinnamon rolls and coffee practically on the house. I was pretty convinced Kay thought this was a date. I wanted to make the situation more romantic than it needed to be. Nevertheless, Andrew and I chatted about ourselves. Right after college prep, he interned for the Anderson Company and gained my grandfather's favor. His dad took advantage and got Andrew a job in the company part-time. However, Andrew only worked there to learn more from grandfather versus actually trying to learn how to be a CEO. I was almost jealous. Soon, though, we had spent the entire afternoon together, and it was getting dark and cloudy. Andrew drove me home, picking us up some Paradise Parlor for dinner, his treat. We stopped at the gates, where Andrew walked me up to the front door.
I had a fun time. Thanks for coming out and having some coffee with me.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for bringing me out. I smiled as Andrew nodded to me, turning to head for his car. I stood there watching him leave, when the rain started to fall. Andrew, unfortunately, was caught under the sudden rain and started racing to his car. As I turned to unlock my door, I heard him stop running.
Wait!
I turned back to see him facing me through the rain. He was getting soaked, but he remained looking at me with almost an adoring look in his eyes. What is it? Andrew quickly ran over, stopping as he reached the awning of the mansion, and stared at me. He was totally drenched from the rain, but he didn't seem to care.
Can I be stupid for a moment?
You're always stupid, but sure. I guess.
Listen, you're probably the most interesting woman I've ever met. You're not afraid to be you, and that part of you makes you adorable.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Was he confessing to me? This is beyond surreal, but he continued.
I know this is stupidly crazy, but I really like you, and I know we've only just met. But I really want to be your friend, and maybe more, but if you're not cool with that, that's okay. I mean, you're way out of my league and stuff, so I'll understand.
Damn, try to say all that in one breath. Holy crap, he was confessing. I stared wide-eyed at him as he confessed. What was I going to say? We had just met, but he was cute and funny. What was even weirder was that he reminded me of myself. He had an overbearing father, and the one person that cared was grandfather. Andrew didn't know his future, and neither did I. It was scary how similar we were. Maybe it was a sign. I could hear my grandfather's laughter, replayed from a distant memory. Was this whole thing set up by him? Was he setting this up now? Angel or not, I could only set my mind on what was happening now. Andrew had laid out his feelings for me, and I had to reply. The question was, what was I going to say? I'd like that, unfortunately. Why not? He was cute and funny, and we seemed to work well together. I smiled at him, and he smiled back with his goofy smile.
Wait, really? Really? Great! Wow! I totally thought I was being stupid and was gonna get kicked in the shin or something.
I let myself let out a laugh. Why would I kick you in the shin?
I don't know. Stupid thought, huh?
Andrew and I laughed before I unlocked the door. Come on, let's get you dried up. The rain should pass soon, so you can stay over until it does.
Oh no, I couldn't possibly.
I insist, come on. Andrew smiled gently and nodded before stepping into the house after me.
Hey, didn't you have servants and stuff?
Huh? What do you mean?
Huh? Never mind. Must have been a party arrangement thing.
Months went by since Andrew's confession. We were happy, and eventually my graduation came along. The rest of the story could almost be passed over. I graduated from school as one of the top 10 students of my class. My family was proud, even my dad. Maybe it was because I did my best in school. Maybe it was because I was finally a woman in his eyes. Andrew, who later became my boyfriend, worked hard at the company, but often took time off to be with me. We ended up going out and learning about each other more and more as each day went by. As for his family, his mother was extremely happy that he finally got a girlfriend. Surprisingly, I was his first. This, to me, was shocking. His father wasn't too thrilled, but after I introduced myself and got to know his parents, his dad came to love me like a daughter. But what of my future? Well, with Andrew's support, I finally decided to stand up for myself. A year after I graduated, Andrew and I presented our cases, and the board decided to have Andrew step into the CEO position of the Anderson Toys Company. My father was beyond shocked. I congratulated Andrew and went to the University of Chicago to get a degree while Andrew dedicated himself full-time to the company. Andrew vowed to respect the wishes of the late CEO and help the company become an even grander company. Andrew had a large amount of heart, so it was easily accomplished. My grandfather would have been proud to see how Andrew helped it shine. With the CEO position filled, my father had no choice but to let me decide on my future, which made me happy beyond compare. No longer would I have the future scaring me into a corner. I could choose my life on my own. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help Andrew build a company? Did I want to venture off on my own? Andrew reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy, and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. One morning a couple of years after Andrew and I started going out, I woke up and took in all that had happened, as if it was all a dream. My life seemed to fall perfectly into place. It was almost surreal.
Is everything as you wanted, sweetie?
Nori? I sharply turned my head to see a woman, dressed in a gold and black gown, staring at me with unnatural red eyes. For some reason, I felt as if she was familiar. I just couldn't place my finger on it. She twirled around a small purple pencil, smiling at me with a happy look. I, however, wasn't happy to have a sudden intruder. Who are you?
There's no need to worry about who I am. I just wanted to make sure you got what you desired. I didn't want to just leave you empty-handed.
What I desired? This was making no sense, yet in my heart I felt like it did. Something about her was making my heart both elated and angry, but I couldn't pin down why. How did she even appear in my room in the first place? What the fuck? Whoever you are, you need to leave. I will not hesitate to call the police.
Oh, I'm leaving, all right. I just wanted a small pick-me-up. Chasing down boys and bringing them home was a hard job and took a lot out of me.
I felt suddenly weak, staring at the woman. I felt warm and fuzzy inside my body, and I wanted the woman to cure me. Why was I feeling like this?
Would you mind if I steal a little kiss for the road? It'll be a long trek to where I'm going, and I need to make sure I have the energy to get there. It's only fair since I helped you get your little happy ending, no?
I felt myself nod. What was I doing? The woman smiled before walking over, leaning over me and kissing my cheek. I felt waves of energy deplete from my body through my cheeks. I felt elated and confused, but almost moaned at the feel of the kiss. After a short moment, the woman finally stepped away with a lick of her lips. She rubbed a finger over her lips as she stepped away from me. I couldn't help but stare blankly at her in surprise and confusion.
Lovely. Now, this is the last time you'll see me. I hope you and your sweet Andrew have a wonderful life together.
The woman placed the purple pencil into the cleavage of her dress and began to leave the room. I was too stunned to move, but I watched the woman open my balcony window, floated up, and dropped from the balcony.
And thus, my price is paid.
I heard her voice echo in my mind before I heard the snapping of a pencil, breaking my thoughts. What was I thinking about again? Oh yes, my life! I let my mind wander to my future before my phone started ringing. I instantly picked it up. Hello?
Hey, can you come over to the office? I need your help in something.
Yeah, sure. What's wrong?
Come over and I'll explain.
Okay, I'll see you in a bit. I grew worried. What was wrong? Did something happen? My mind began to sort through possibilities that could have occurred with Andrew. Luckily, I learned how to drive and got a car as a graduation gift from my mother. How she managed to get me a brand new car without Dad knowing was beyond me. We finally got a car, everybody! Woo! Sweet. Thank you, Mom. You're the best. I didn't get my Switch 16, but you know what? This works. This perfectly works. Especially if it's brand new. I quickly drove over and ran through the building, being led to a room with my parents, Andrew's parents, and Andrew himself. Huh? What's going on? I watched as my father stood up and walked over to me. I watched and waited. What was he going to do? To my surprise, my father kissed my head and smiled down at me. Dad?
I'm sorry.
What? What do you mean?
I've been hard on you practically all your life, and here you are, doing what you want to do. Are you happy?
Very much so. My dad's smile was foreign, but I felt major elation for just seeing it. Maybe it was sappy to say it, but I never imagined I could see a smile like this on him.
I love you, sweetie. You may not have followed the path I wanted you to follow, but if you're happy in the end, then there's nothing else that would make me happier.
I felt my eyes water. Did he really say the 3 words I never thought he would say to me? Was this really happening? My dad kissed my forehead before going back to stand near Andrew's father. I looked to Andrew, very confused but grateful to have heard those words. So, what's going on, Andrew?
You know I love you, right?
Yes, and I love you too. Before I knew it, Andrew walked over to me and held my hands. I stared up at him, wondering what was going on.
I love you a lot. You're sweet, funny, courageous, and absolutely wonderful. I couldn't have asked for a better girlfriend.
Andrew? Andrew brought my hands to his lips and kissed over my knuckles.
It's been a couple of years since we've been going out, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Andrew, you're avoiding the question.
I know, but for good reason.
And what reason is that exactly? Andrew smiled and took out a small box from his pocket. I stared wide-eyed as he opened it before me and got on one knee.
This is all very sudden, I know, but I want you to know that I care for you so much, and I want to continue caring for you as long as I live. I definitely don't deserve you. But will you marry me?
I felt my heart beating wildly in my chest. He was proposing! He was proposing! I couldn't stop myself from jumping up and down in happiness. Yes! Oh my god, yes, I will! Oh my god! Andrew smiled wildly up at me as tears started falling down my cheeks. He stood and wrapped his arms around me before he kissed me lovingly. I felt Andrew slip the ring onto my ring finger as I kissed back, uncaring of the cheering going on in the room. I could hear that more people had entered and started celebrating our engagement, but I didn't mind. Andrew gently pulled away and smiled down at me.
I love you.
Feeling bold, I stretched up on my tiptoes and kissed him in the same amount of love he gave me. He was shocked, but I felt him relax in my arms. He kissed me back. I didn't want to wake up if this was indeed a dream. I felt light as a feather, not wanting to ever let go of this man in my arms. There were no words that could describe the emotions within me. I felt joy, happiness, ecstatic, high, all at once. Here I was, holding the man I wanted to be with for the rest of my life like nothing else mattered. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. And that was my happily ever after. And Andrew's proposal. Alright, well. Andrew's route. Was it as bad as I remembered it? Kinda, yeah. Kinda was. A lot of your choices really didn't matter. Whereas before, your choices kinda did matter during certain situations, but this one really didn't. Like, a good chunk of the game just gets, like, tossed out before you finally meet Andrew, and then you have to woo him and go through his route and shit, so I'm just like, just don't like it. Me don't like it. Me was annoyed. And I think I know why I specifically don't like Andrew himself. And I think it's because he is, you know, as the game has stated, he's literally like us. He has literally the exact same problems as we do. Which I think makes him kind of a boring character to go through. There's nothing unique about him. He doesn't have his own troubles. It's literally looking into a mirror and saying, hey, here's a guy version of you, pretty much. Here's a route for him. To which I really just can't get behind. I thought it was kind of stupid that we had the exact same problem over, and it was kind of being shoved in our face all the fucking time. And I thought that was kind of just stupid. It's kind of dumb. Like, each and every single boys, they had their unique problems and issues. Well, sort of, kind of, you know. They kind of had their own personality, if you will. They had their own personality, they did their own thing. But Andrew, he really wasn't. He was just us. And I just did not find that interesting. I found that extremely boring and kind of dumb. And dare I even say a bit of lazy writing. Oh, I know. I said the cursed words. Lazy writing, I know, but man, Andrew really was just boring. I really did not care for him at all. Not at all. This was definitely not better. It definitely did not get better. And like, in Damien's route, I remember him being boring when I initially played it, but then when we replayed it recently, I actually kind of liked it. Then again, I found out a little bit more information, did a little, you know, reading and stuff, and, you know, it kind of made it more interesting. But Andrew, I'm sorry, but no, you are boring as fuck. Now, I don't know how people can enjoy Andrew's route. I'm sorry. If you enjoy Andrew's route, why? Why? I mean, I guess if you want to date yourself, I guess, then okay. But, oh god. I don't know. I just can't understand it. I mean, I guess if people can always explain it to me, but still, I would just not understand why you would enjoy Andrew's route. But it does exist. At the end of the day, it does exist. But it was kind of a really nice change of pace to switch up the gameplay itself. To go through different routes that we couldn't before because of the incubi. And of course, we'll be exploring those different routes and different choices as we go along. Especially when we go through Naomi and Suzu's route. Still deciding who I should go first. Naomi or Suzu? Maybe Suzu, but I'm not too sure. But don't forget the barbed dicks, crab nipples, and Richard's pickles. Please just don't ask. Don't ever ask about it. I don't even understand it, but I don't ask. I respect that decision to not ask about it. But that will be it for today's episode. I thank you all for joining me, and let's play Seduce Me Andrew's route. I am Tara the Fox, you are the viewer, and of course, I hope to see you next time in an all-new route.